Live.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order this real estate meeting, committee meeting for January 26, 2026, pursuant to Missouri State Statute 610.020. Next, we have go ahead, have a roll call.
Dr. Berry,
Present.
Ms. Henry,
Present.
Mr. Watson,
Present.
Ms. Doble,
Present.
Mr. Marston,
Present.
Mr. Heights.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next, I need a motion to approve the draft minutes from the previous meeting, which is 12/15/2025 open session minutes, please.
So I had a question on the minutes. There's two sets of minutes. There's the minutes and then there's amended minutes from the same meeting. I was wondering what the difference is between those two sets of minutes.
During that meeting, there was a motion to include the Corrigan Clark in closed session for a vote. So the amended minutes show the agenda as such, whereas the original show where the motion was made. That's the only difference.
Oh, I think I see. So we'll need to have to approve both sets of minutes.
They're both listed.
Yeah. So we need to approve them separately here today, though.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it separately.
Yes.
Okay, I move to approve the open session minutes from our December 15th meeting.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been motion and second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none. Ms. Vaughn?
Dr. Berry, Ms. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Watson,
Yes.
Ms. Doble,
Yes.
Mr. Marston,
Yes.
Mr. Heights.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next, I need approval for the amended minutes for the same 12/15/26. I'm sorry, 12/15/25. I'm sorry.
Move to approve the amended open session minutes
Right.
from our December 15th meeting.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been motion and second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none. Ms. Vaughn?
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Ms. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Watson, Ms. Doble,
Yes.
Mr. Marston,
Yes.
Mr. Heights.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Oh, thank you very much. Give me a minute because my old goofy phone. I lost my. Why is it doing this right now? So let me see. 1 second, please. Where did it go? Let me see if I can do it here. Next is presentation by XP Realty. Update on the Key West Board presentation. Got a slide.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know. Can you all let me know if you hear me? I'm having technical difficulties over here on this side.
I can hear you.
So far,
Okay,
so
perfect.
good.
All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
I can't. Let me see.
I think you've got permission to share, or at least I do.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, I can do this. I'm tripping. I got it. All right, I'm good.
Okay. I can see it on my side. I don't know if you all can see it on my side, on your side.
No, I just see the speaker, like whoever's speaking, not the shared presentation.
Chief Watson, do you have the presentation and we can send it to Mr. Moss?
It's on the way, Dr. Berry.
Thank you so much, Ms. Henry.
That's the only thing bad about Zoom. It had to be patient.
Alternate method of meeting.
Right.
So I'm wondering, I was added to the committee, but I'm not being allowed to vote. I was asking Tiffany, she didn't call me, you know, like everybody else, and then when you're talking, I'm not able to say anything.
Mr. Moss, while we wait, do you mind muting all participants?
Yeah, but I was talking to, what's his name, Tracy
I'm
about it.
trying to. For some reason, I can't. Let's try again.
Be back morning, so I was wondering, I don't understand what I was taking off of. I had always. Well, what is the delay? Are we trying to get the presentation up?
Yes, ma'am. That's my understanding. The presentation is being uploaded to Mr. Moss now to pull up on his side. Unless you have sharing rights and you two would like to share.
All right, 1 second.
Okay.
There we have it.
I got it.
Mr. Marston shared.
Okie dokie.
Dr. Ward and Ms. West, can you see what we see now?
And is that big enough for everybody?
Yeah, I'm able to see it. Just
Okay,
fine.
Yes, I can see it now.
cool. So just tell me when to advance the slides and I'll keep scrolling.
I'm wondering I think we may have lost Sean, so I will start because I think he said he was having technical difficulties. So good afternoon, everyone. How are you all today?
All right, done. Good.
Wonderful. Okay. So we're really the ball is definitely moving forward, and we want to take this time to just update you guys and the public on where we are, what we've done, and where we are headed. So as you guys know, we are in alignment with St. Louis Public as far as our strategic values. And so this first slide is just really us going back over and reviewing what those strategic values are: highly effective education, also the authentic family and community partnership, the equitable and multiple sources of data, and then the joyful engagement of our students, and then the personalized support and innovative pathways. And then our final one is the college and career ready critical thinkers. Those are our values that we share with St. Louis Public as far as our school goes. So let's give you guys, you can go to the next slide. So this is our school sites update. So we have visited all of the schools that you see listed here: Co-Brilliant, Euclid, Farragut, Gunlock, Northwest, Stowe, Turner Branch, Couples, Fanning, Ford Elementary, Langston Middle, Scullin, Turner, and Walnut Park. So that has been a great opportunity for us to really know and understand the assets so that we could have an opportunity to really, really speak effectively with the community and other interested parties as far as those schools are concerned. If you go down, we'll talk about the schools toured and the schools listed. So I just talked about all of the schools that we have toured. Everyone that I just named, we've toured those. We've also listed all of the schools that we have that I just stated up above. So all of those schools have been listed, and you can find them on not only, do I need to slow down?
No, I was just going
Okay.
back up for
Okay.
people to
All right.
look at the list.
Okay, so all of those schools have been listed, and currently all of those schools are being actively marketed. Right now, we have quite a bit of increase that we've been fielding through the schools, and so we are just doing our due diligence where that's concerned, and we'll report more about that at a later date. And then let's talk about our community strategic outreach and planning. So one of the things that we're currently planning right now, the schools that are functional, and when we say functional, of course, you know, meaning that we can actually walk through and show a presentation for and allow interested brokers and interested community leaders and nonprofits, just anyone that's interested in the properties, once we have fully vetted them. One of the things we're working on right now is putting together a broker investor open house with those schools so that we can give them the information and then share and understand what their goals are, and then also just gather feedback on the school as well. I'm getting something. Okay. All right. And then our institutional strategic outreach, which we've already started identifying some local churches, nonprofits, charters that we're doing direct marketing to and putting them on our radar so that they will know what is happening, what's going on with the schools. That's our way of making sure that we stay connected with the institutional buyers. We know that that has proven to be very, very effective.
Yeah, he's on there, Brian. Yeah, he's on.
Am I hearing? I can't really see. So is someone asking me a question?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So then what we are doing is we're just keeping everyone engaged. This is what our communication has been and will continue to be. And how are we keeping them engaged? One, when they're doing their initial inquiry, we are sourcing to understand what their needs are, also what their purpose use of the property would be, getting any information that we need to get out to them, as well as making sure that once we have their information, that those particular people will get targeted outreach information and continuous updates on the properties that meet their criteria and needs. Are there any questions thus far?
Yeah, I had a question on this slide and then a question sort of the beginning, but on this slide, are there also affordable housing developers that you can target that you know of?
There are that we can target. So when we talk about redevelopment agencies, we include housing in that.
Okay.
So that's all encompassed for us.
So I think there'd be more interest, say from the board and the district in an affordable housing, and maybe less so in charter networks.
Okay, thank you.
And back on the just on this first slide here, I was just wondering if you could explain the relationship between Key West Property Partners and eXp Realty.
So we are brokered by eXp Realty, that's our parent company. And Key
Okay.
West Property Partners, that's who we are.
Okay. Okay. You ready to go to the slide
Yeah.
6?
Yep, let's go to slide 6.
Got it.
So then this is for any community organizations or just persons that are interested. This is our contact information. This is how they can get in touch with us. And then for anyone that's looking for if you could go to the next slide. Anyone looking for the assets to see where they can find the assets, these are all of the websites that you will find our properties listed on.
I was having a hard time finding the SLPS buildings on these. There's a link here that's specifically the listing for Scullin on LoopNet. Can we get, I guess, maybe separate links for each of the buildings? And then I think the slps.org site should be updated to point to these listings, because I think there's still maybe outdated information from on our surplus properties page. So like what would be helpful for me would be having individual links, or at least being able to so that if somebody is interested in any of these properties, I can give them a link to the listing. And again, I couldn't really find them on some of these other sites.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. We do have individual property links, so we can give that to you. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yep, we can send that to you this afternoon.
Cool.
I'm just making a note here. And then we will go back and check the St. Louis public site to see where the disconnect could be. I know we worked on that last week, so I'm making a note there with the properties not being updated. Okay. Was there anything else? Okay. I'm just making some notes. Sorry about that. I don't want to. Okay. So here is our sale inquiry process. And you guys, I'm going to just look on my sheets because I am having difficulty reading this and I don't want to fumble. So just give me 2 seconds here. Oh, thank you so much. That's so much better. All right. So our sales inquiry process is pretty self-explanatory. Once we get an inquiry, we're taking that inquiry and then we're doing what we know to do is best. And that is first, we're doing our internal screening. What does that internal screening look like? That's where we're confirming the property, confirming the eligibility, if there's any restrictions, and just getting basic information regarding the person's ability to purchase the property. Because what we want to do at all times is bring ready, willing, and able buyers that can actually help to move the assets. And so that's a part of our first initial screening. And then our next phase is to go through the due diligence, make sure that they understand the asset condition, the risk, any of the holding costs, making sure that, you know, the best pathway that's recommended, that is for that particular property, that those, all of those outliers are in place so that the board can make a good decision or the best decision regarding the asset and the person that is interested in the property. And then offers evaluations. We will review the buyer's price. We'll review their capacity to buy, their intended use, contingencies, risk, and exposure. We'll also make sure that the board has full details on that. And then if there's any additional details that the board needs or has concerns regarding, we will ensure that we do our due diligence to get all of that information to you during the offer evaluation process. And then once we get to board approval, we will make sure that you have everything that you need to be able to highly qualify that property and look through it and make sure that it meets the needs of both the community and the board as well. And then you guys will vote on it. And then once we have the acceptance, we'll offer the proper disposition for the property. And then executing and closing is where our closing team will make sure that all executed contracts are submitted to legal, the title company, and then make sure that we're overseeing that entire process from any inspections or anything that is required throughout that closing process. That's what our team will ensure. And then we'll also make sure that communication is clear and concise. If there's any issues that come up, any delays, anything like that during that execution and closing phase, we will keep the board informed at all times. Any questions there?
I do have one question.
Sure.
And thank you for this. Within this timeline, do you say to the potential buyers that you give them an actual timeline to be able to get to certain steps in the process? For instance, we wouldn't want to sell and then the building is still sitting there for 2 years looking away in the same condition.
Oh, absolutely. We will work with them on timelines because that's going to be, I think, the most important and most effective. So yes, we will work with them on timelines and expectations.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll also put measures in place that if those timelines aren't met, where now the board has an opportunity to make decisions. Are there any other questions on that slide? I don't know if Sean, is there anything that you want to jump in now that you're back on?
Yeah, my computer crashed. I had to switch to another computer. I don't know what happened. I guess my computer got scared. So pretty much Dana did address that with the inquiry. Right to that inquiry, we have a few tours already Thursday that's happening. We already coordinated with the security and every other team there that will be touring with them. So we'll make sure that we write inside the contract that this is contingent upon that things are taken care of within the amount of time to also satisfy the community and also satisfy the St. Louis Public School District to make sure that we're not leaving an asset empty any longer. So to Dana's point, we will write that in also as a contingency in the contract as well. And to your point with the websites, I came in with the websites board. The websites are active. I just got off the phone with Crexy, and they're making sure that we are updated with the websites. My personal website is showing now CoStar and also LoopNet. So to Dana's point, we'll make sure that you all get those links going to those pages. I mean, they're very hot. I mean, we have so many brokers that are saving the schools. Top schools is Northwest Fanning, Fagot, and Ford. They are really saving those schools, looking at those, going back. I can see behind the wall how many times they clicked on it, how long they're looking at it, and also them sending out emails about the school. So we will have those statistics for you for the next meeting to let you know exactly how many hits we have had, how many calls we have had. We're making a spreadsheet for you too as well to make sure that we keep you all updated with the attention that we're getting from brokers, users, and also business developers too as well.
I do know the last conversation you mentioned there were some potential buyers already. I don't know if you have already shared that information with us. I'm looking specifically at a few schools, but I didn't know if you had any updates on those potential buyers.
We have reached out to a couple of them that was interested at first. I know we had a discussion about different users that was interested in the schools. And so we're still kind of vetting them to make sure that they are credit worthy and they are serious buyers. We don't want to just have anybody coming to the assets that's not solid with coming to purchase these schools. We don't want to waste the board's time. We don't want to waste the community's time with just showing schools to individuals that just want to tour a school without the right intentions of purchasing a school from, the board.
Absolutely. My last question, I promise. You know how when you go buy a property, you have to have sometimes documentation stating that you can, qualify to purchase that property. Do you ask for that?
Yes. So we ask for a business plan. We ask who's your financial backing. We want to see financial records of profit and loss statements, We want to see, we try to vet them as much as possible to make sure they are a solid organization that's coming to purchase the school. We know that a lot of commercial properties don't go through the whole process like home buying to where you have the big pre-approval letter, but we do ask for a letter from your bank to make sure that you're creditworthy without knowing how much is in your account, but you are able to get the finances from some type of equity firm to purchase these schools, or your board has a grant in place to purchase these schools as well.
Understood.
For
Thank you.
example, for the person that we're touring Thursday, I asked them for their business plan to make sure they are the name of the business, to make sure they are a legit LLC, that they've been in business for a little while. We asked them for what is your reason for wanting to purchase the school. And so we vetted them pretty well. And also I know the broker that is bringing them. And so by us having a relationship with certain brokers, we know that they don't play around with just anyone to come to look at these schools.
Yep. And then I'll just add, for those that maybe are having inquiries, but don't really know, we're also giving them, these are some of the steps that you need in order for you to be able to submit an offer. So we have sent out information to several people that have inquired that maybe are not quite ready. So we're doing that as well to help people get ready. And we do have commercial lenders that we can also refer them to as well. Sean, you want to take this one?
Yes. So we were giving up our marketing update. And again, I apologize. We're still doing our marketing approach, which control phase commercial marketing process. We're still doing with that formal listings with district approved disclosures. We have that already. Some of these are already in operation. We are doing targeted outreach to qualified commercial and institutional users. We're talking about that now. And we're also doing B2B, which is broker to broker engagement to ensure board market exposure. That's saying that we are also sending these out privately through maybe constant contact or through our systems to say, hey, we have this asset available. If you have a user that is interested in this property, please, reach out to us as well. Activity wise, our properties informally has been listed on Movie. It has been listed on Crexy, listed on Catalyst, ColdStar, LoopNet, and some of our personal websites too as well. We also have creating OMs for when brokers do come out, that they have an offering memorandum to where they can see exactly the square footage of the property, when was the property built, owners of the property, so forth and so on, so they can have that information to do their investigation and make sure that they are credit worthy for the schools as well. We have ongoing coordination with the district staff and security, making sure that we let them know when we have a tour available within 24 to 48 hours to be able to do that tour with the prospect and also the potential purchaser of the property. Risk management, we already walked the properties. We made sure we looked at the properties, make sure that safety things are in place to make sure that our people that are touring, they're safe, we're safe, and this asset is in good condition for us to tour at the same time. Some places we're not able to tour, and we make sure that we let the users know that we're not able to tour those properties, that we also as a board, St. Louis Public School District is not responsible for anything that may happen with them touring too as well. We don't hold liability for that. Any questions for the marketing update? All right, this is our same conclusion. Our conclusion is the same thing. We have the value and also the vision of St. Louis Public School District properties. We want to make sure that we're maximizing our opportunity to reach out to as most brokers and users as possible with the vision of St. Louis Public School District in mind. Partner with Key West Property Partners through eXp Realty. We provide the expertise, the tools, and the marketing reach to ensure the professional transparency and also results-driven sales process that benefits the district and also the community. Our main goal is to also sell assets for you all too as well, but at the same time get the better and best use user for the property too, because we want to make sure that we're partnering with the community, make sure the community feels safe with who we're selling these properties to, and that person that is purchasing the property also would like to grow with the community. So our vision is the same with you guys. We want to make sure that we're just not giving the buildings away to anyone, but we also sell them at a market price to where it's benefiting us financially, the board financially, and also giving an opportunity to someone wanting to grow inside the community, inside the assets. If there's any questions, I can ask those. Brian, I'd like to thank you for sharing your screen and being the shifter for me. I appreciate that, and I apologize for the mishap on my end.
Yeah, I sort of double as the AV guy.
Right, right. Is there any more questions for the brokers? Hearing none. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your presentation. And I really appreciate the last part where you say you're really working hard with the community to make sure it benefits not only the school district but the community also. I really appreciate that part and all the hard work you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No problem. So there's any more questions for the brokers? If not, I'll move on to 3.2, the plan STL. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hikes. I believe Mr. Roper is on. Mr. Roper is one of the city planning executives for neighborhood planning with the city of St. Louis. He's here today on behalf of Plan STL. We were fortunate enough to have a meeting with him last week, Mr. Watson and I, and we wanted to share what he shared with us in that meeting with you all.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me. I am Jonathan Roper with the City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency, and here to discuss with you our Plan STL neighborhood planning program and just ways that SLPS and the city, especially planning, can work together to accomplish all of our goals.
Do you want me to share my screen again on this one?
Oh, actually, I can.
You got it.
Mine.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, nice. Thank you.
Make sure we make that larger for you guys.
Oh, that's good. You good?
That's good. Okay, great.
At least on my end, not to be,
Is that seeable or?
Yes, I do believe so.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been growing the Plan STL team. So these are the number of planners that we have, including myself. So we're happy to actually have another team member last year to make us up to 4. And the others aren't here today, but throughout the year, you'll start interacting and meeting with these other planners as well. Our Plan STL program with the city. It is the official neighborhood planning program, and it's by the Planning and Urban Design Agency, which is a department within the city. And this is fueled by the 2017 Economic Development Sales Tax. And our roles and deliverables are to guide community through a planning process that ultimately we adopt a neighborhood plan with the city's planning commission. So that's the legal adopted body to do that. And it provides guidance for community members to advance participation and development and how they like to see development in their communities. We're going to go over a quick history and what Plan STL is, and also we're going to go a little into the plan, one of our planning areas where we just adopted a plan, and then how we can really assist with the schools and have this ongoing relationship. So mentioned the 2017 Economic Development Sales Tax was passed. And between then and 2024, we ramped up the Plan STL program, and we officially launched in 2024 in 8 different neighborhoods. And we then expanded into 11 additional neighborhoods last year. And we're actually going to look to expand in the next couple of weeks to Plan Area 7 as well. So another 5 neighborhoods. These are all the neighborhoods that we are either end today or have adopted neighborhood plans. And on the right side, there are different timelines, and don't worry, I could share these slides with you guys. We have a number of planning areas going on. I'll just note the plan area 1 in green and red here, the Bill Greater Bill Kingsway East, which has Farragut School, Hickey, Sumner, John Marshall. That plan actually was adopted last month in December. So we'll have we'll look through actually that plan in a little bit. And why we started in those areas, basically the city prioritized different items like population change, homicides, vacancy, different initiatives that they have. And you can see in the picture on the right side, the city's economic development action plan. So these areas sort of align with those. So as we want to see city investment in these areas, we also need some type of neighborhood plans to help guide what the work is. These plans generally cover 6 different topics: housing, economic development, transportation, and mobility, arts, culture, community assets, which a lot of times the schools fall under those community assets like libraries, parks, architecture, and urban design, and we also look at sustainability as well. And then there's a lot of other, I guess, themes that we call them that, while they're not technically just a chapter, we see these items like safety interweaving through. There's safety in how you walk to school, there's safety in your housing. So a lot of these different themes that go throughout these topics that we have. Planning process is around 16 to 18 months long. We do have a neighborhood planning committee where we have different residents and people in the community to provide guidance for this process. The city does a lot of data collection and analysis on, well, that study area. So this could be from the housing to the commercial corridors to some of the community assets. We set goals and vision with community members. And then ultimately we draft a plan with strategies. We review the plan together and we adopt a plan with the planning commission. And we do engagement throughout. And that picture on the right side there is actually Sumner High School, right next to Tandy, where we did what we call pop-up demonstrations, where people like to see what's kind of jazzing up the different places that they want in their community and how to kind of activate it. If you hear the term placemaking, that's what they were looking to do in a temporary term. Also throughout this process, so we have the different pictures, like our different public meetings or neighborhood planning committee meetings, different tours, and also to expose different community members to, hey, they're doing it over there. Are you interested in that? And to really bring the ideas going. And then there's a picture on the bottom left here. That's the pop-up demonstration that we had also in the plenary one next to St. Louis Avenue in Euclid. So there's a lot of fun in having just not only making a document like this that you see on the left right side of the screen, but also a enriching process. So overall, we have this neighborhood plan that shares a shared long-term vision of the neighborhood. There's some midterm and short-term strategies too. It helps that should guide really all of our decision makings, we would hope, in some way, shape, or form. And it provides an actionable framework. It's implementable and it's yours, it's the communities as we adopted for community. Now going to one of our plan areas that I mentioned, plan area 1, the Greater Bill Kingsway East. So normally we take that on our city boundaries. We have one neighborhood or several adjacent neighborhoods combined into one study area to look at it. And I mentioned before, we have our neighborhood planning committee. We also have ambassadors who are paid members of the within the area to go out and spread the word about planning. And we also have working groups too in this process. So I'll note Dr. Wallace with Sumner was a part of this process as well. So we do like to strengthen our relationship with SLPS in the schools, but we do have some participation. Do a number of engagement throughout the year or the years as we do planning, and going with more of our topics that we have as well. And this is actually, can't really see that well, I'm sorry, but we even do housing and market analysis where we look at, okay, if we're talking about housing in this particular area, you can barely see it, what's it selling for? And then we also take here's the Ville Greater versus City St. Louis, and just different numbers as to how home values are going, just because once we're trying to look at solutions to make our housing, maintain our housing, build new housing. So what are strategies to do that, and getting an understanding of what's going on. And this, for example, is single family new housing construction on a scale of 50 units, what it would cost to develop, what type of subsidies or that we would need, what type of sales price could we get. So we do that too, along with looking at different project phases. So, and realistically, while SLPS, and I noticed it's on what real estate today, you list a site online. There's also other items that we look at either as SLPS, as a city, or even as a private developer, different steps that need to you take. And also, once they get the property, it's not over there. It's not over just yet. So there's a lot more that we need to think about and do. So we want to look at the different tools that either the city or private entities together can do put together in order to make projects work. We also look at different development scenarios. So in this case, we looked at for the Ville Greater Ville Kingsway East, so it's highly important to have looking at Sumner High School, for example. So these pitches are just different. We did analysis around Sumner, on the whole area, and they really put together where some entry markers might be, some new housing, and then we at the bottom of the screen you see some of these like thoughts about what you might be able to do on a limited time basis. And then we do the pop-up demonstrations to actually bring it to life temporarily, to really encourage what's going on, like what we could do and see here. And then we also coordinate with a number of other groups and entities within the city or beyond the cities. And then we have a plan adoption where we do look to, I'm looking at like our neighbor plan implementation awards, for example, our community development agency actually provides neighbor planning implementation awards. So or incentives that we use. So if you're talking about one of the schools that you want to get going, there are incentives that the city might be able to offer to make it more of a sweeter project. So you can unload some of those vacant school buildings. In this process, we do build on and bring ideas, projects from residents, community development corporations, neighborhood organizations, schools, elected official leaders, city departments, and also the city planning team. And at the end of the day, this is what one of the plans. This is the West End Visitation Park plan for WeCollab, where they have different concepts of what buildings you might want to look like, and then phasing of year 1 or year 2, year 3. This is what you do first, and here's what you do later. And as we adopt these plans, it is legally adopted and recognized by the city. It is used in the planning commission, so in a number of other city agencies. We want this also to advise the capital improvements budget and also the 5-year consolidated housing plan and other budgets too. And I'm going to transition into SLPS and how can we assist with you. So we recognize around, not only there's vacant school buildings, but you have a vacancy as an issue throughout the city and especially around our really important assets. So you don't not want, if you're coming out of a school or walking to a school and you see vacancy on that walk to school or outside your building, that's really important for us to try to target sidewalk connections, because a lot of kids they don't take the school bus, but they're walking to school. Those safe routes between schools or schools to wherever someone's trying to go to, whether it's the library, whether it's the park or community center after school. Your walk with trees for shading, art and identification and pride around areas, and then also the services and amenities along the way that are helpful educational opportunity. We also recognize that SLPS, I mean, there's a heavy youth population daily at the schools. There's a need to that community around those schools and activities. There needs to be more opportunities for that. We recognize there needs to be more safe routes to schools. Also, that a lot of our buildings are of a historic nature, so it's usually not a demolition of the schools, but how can you reuse them? And these school properties are pretty large as well. So looking at the next just few slides, and I'll wrap up. Some of the items that, speaking with Chief Watson and Director Henry, thinking about how the city proactively assisting with subdivisions, in case we want to subdivide an existing lot, the city entitlements, permitting and approvals. So there's many different boards you might have to go through and permits that you might need. What we also want to proactively assist with an exciting plan that brings confidence to these investments. So when you're are you listing just a school or is it a part of an approach to say, hey, the city is really committed and invested in this area here. We have plenty of residential, commercial opportunities for you, but also we have this school and it's a large piece of land. So we really want to do this together because it's for the community. So throughout this Plan STL program, you can expect that we can have, and these are also activities that you could join us in. So we have a launch party or either open house, town hall meetings. We either have tables or time to speak there. Neighborhood planning committees. So we do have mentioned Dr. Wallace was from Sumner was on our planning committee. So there's that, or there's different focus groups and meetings that we can have. The pop-up demonstration, I showed one earlier to you, but we had several others, especially outside Nance Elementary. I don't know how, but I forgot that put that picture in here of there's between Nance at the Riverview Halls Ferry Circle, there's issues with children trying to cross. There's no crosswalks. There's a lot of stop signs. So what we did is we made a temporary crosswalk and stop signs, and for the day we had a really safe crossing there. And then we have the plan adoption. So we go to the planning commission and we would ask for, hey, we have a public hearing. So we do ask for community support to say to the planning commission, hey, this is a great plan. Let's go with it. And we also have implementation partners. So SLPS love to be implementation partner and the role that you guys, in your lane, would love to elevate what you guys do. So just kind of recap, as we plan for school areas, we do target around schools. We also, if it's a closed school, we do some visioning for reuse of school property. So in some of the plans, people might say what their preference is that they would like. And this helps if SLPS is actively, and you guys are working hard to try to, list these buildings and connect with people. But then all of a sudden, after you work for months in doing that, even a year, and then the community turns around and says, no, we do not want that. This will hopefully bridge those two in a way. So we can't promise 100%, but we want to bridge that a little bit more. We do a limited market analysis. So we're kind of showing you earlier about the demand for housing or how much it's going to cost. So we do some of that. And actually, I believe Turner School, one of the schools, adaptive reuse, we did numbers on that too. And we want to bring together not only you guys, but other implementation partners to get this stuff done. And as we look and think about schools, and this is the last couple of slides I have, this is a former school building. It's been sold off now. This is Cook School, in the West End Visitation Park area. So Cook School it doesn't have a big green space, but it does have a lot of parking on it. And thinking about once you sell this property, is the user limited on what they can do inside that building, which does impact what they can do at the bank and all their financing. We look at this and say, well, actually, what opportunities are there? For example, if we subdivided this, it added a bunch of this is single family on this. So from this to this, you have to do a subdivision on there, and you make new lots. That could be more. That could lead to a better asking price for one, because now it might be more valuable to say, hey, we subdivided it. You have room for all these houses. Now, each house sells for 200,000 and you put 20 of them on there. You're up into the low millions at that point versus just having one site with a bunch of concrete. So trying to think about this in a way that could be advantageous to say, how can we actually, if this is fine for the community, then how could we do something like this? And then also, so you're selling the land off, you might actually have a little bit more money so you could invest in the other schools. So this actually became a big asset at the same time, putting in new houses, which we all know we're losing kids, we're losing families. So this would at the same time bring some value to SLPS, but also increase the population. Other opportunities we try to look at. So not all the sites are the same, and there are different opportunities that we might have. We heard Skull and School earlier. This particular area, I think, is one of the best gyms we have in the region because of what's here today. You have what's called a velodrome. It's like a bike racing track. This is the only one in the state of Missouri, and there's only one in the state of Illinois. There's none in Kansas or Oklahoma. So we have this asset here, along with on the left side, you have Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club, where you have football and baseball fields, tennis courts, you have pools, gym, you have City Academy, you have Penrose Park, and then you have Skull and School. So you have this youth, more than a trifecta here. And so part of the neighborhood planning process, so this is one of the areas we are actively planning in now, and we hope to adopt a plan for this area, the Penrose, O'Fallon, and other neighborhoods at the end of the year. So part of what we're looking at here is there's a big opportunity to really put investment and energy into this to make it, to leverage our existing assets. So
Velodrome is a lot of fun for skateboarding as well. I'll just think that. So it's my own personal interest in Penrose Park.
No, so that's really, I guess, thank you, Brian, because now's the time that's what I had for this presentation. So if I can answer any questions or comments that you might have about it, and just where we're trying to go with neighborhood planning. And I will invite you guys to we have up and coming open house and a launch party in 2 different areas. So follow up by inviting you guys to those 2. At this point,
Any
Chief
questions?
Watson, if there's any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Roper?
I think it makes a lot of sense for the school district and the city to work together on neighborhood planning. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll say, if anybody is familiar with the St. Louis Vacancy Collaborative, they have a map. It's on stlvacancytools.com, but the highest concentration of empty lots and buildings in the city overlays pretty much exactly with the areas that Plan STL is looking at. So it makes sense why they're focusing on those areas.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead, Don
Please.
Jones.
I'd like to ask, what are your considerations when you're thinking of trees, vegetation in the city of St. Louis. I, for one, as a resident, I have several fruit-bearing trees in my yard. And I wanted to know, since I live in an area where it's kind of devoid of, places where you can go get fresh fruits and vegetables, when you start planning the revitalization of an area, do you consider planting fruit or nut-bearing trees in the city?
Yes, so we do talk about share different screen with you guys. Did my screen switch to a different one?
So you got this is a drive.google.com address up right now.
Okay, and you can't see the colorful
Sport
image?
tab in your web browser.
I actually had saw like the commercial.
Are you seeing me scrolling right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So sometimes it pops up, I'm just not sure. So generally speaking, there's stuff that you can do on your vacant property, and then there's the city right away. So I just want to mention that. Generally speaking, the city right away, they probably would not want like fruit bearing trees because that gets in the right of way. However, on different property, or even, and this is in our planning area one, the Bill Greater Kingsville East, where there's a lot of vacant lots with no buildings on them. So we did talk about urban agriculture as to what you could do with small farms, just growing in the neighborhood, but also small outdoor or even indoor small kitchens where you could even wash veggies that you grew there and actually serve it in like a pop-up kitchen, if you would, that's outside. So yes, we definitely can talk about a number of those items. And yeah. Well, in short, yes, we definitely will again talk about any of those items in this process.
For people that are interested in the city tree canopy too, I'll mention there's an organization called St. Louis Neighborhood Foresters. I used to be on the board, and it's STLNF, neighborhoodforesters.org. So, Donna, I can send you that link later if you're interested.
Nice.
Myra's got her hand up.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Myra.
That's okay. Yes, just really quick. One, I think this is extremely exciting to see our city growing because SLPS is growing as well. We would love to, like you said, be a partner to be able to come to the table to hear. I know you talked about having all these different uses and possibilities for our schools. So it'll be great to be able to be in that space to hear the many ideas that you have. And then you mentioned about reporting vacancies. How would the city like us to report vacancies that we see near our schools that are not currently on your vacancy list?
So if there is, I believe, I'll get back to you to send you the actual person, but that's to the building division, which technically is a separate department than I am. But as far as if we are doing a neighborhood plan, and generally speaking, we would look at a buffer radius around the school to say, hey, here's the vacant properties and we want to hit those. But generally speaking, I would hit the building division for their vacant building registration and just make them aware.
Understood. Thank you. And thank you, Secretary Marson, for that link.
Any more questions for Mr. Roper? Didn't see anybody got their hands up. I guess
I don't believe so.
Okay, but I want to thank you very much in this. And to Brian Marston's point, it's very important that the city and the school district work together. I think we can do great things if we work together, if everybody's on one accord. Because if you listen to our first presentation with the buildings that we have for sale, you guys can really help us with moving it forward. When somebody has the money to buy it, you guys can help us, move those things forward. So I really appreciate you coming, and hopefully we can do a lot of work together, sir.
No, thank you, and thanks for all your questions and attention today, and look forward to the future with SLPS.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, later.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Henry, other business? Electric buses.
Yes, sir. Actually, we're going to move
You the boss.
that item to the next meeting when we have a little bit more information.
Yes, ma'am. So what about the Nance Long lease buyout?
So I sent that to legal, and I just wanted to give an update. I want to put both of the options back on the agenda for every committee member to see it before we make a final decision. So I'll bring that back in February. But from legal, it says the lease agreements contain language regarding the transferability of the interest of both the tenant and the landlord. The tenant sale company may transfer the lease without the district's consent to any entity that owns it or purchase the company. So that succession clause that was asked about previously, it's in the lease language. I'm going to get this to the entire committee, and then we'll bring it back in February for a final vote.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from Ms. Henry on that? No. Oh, did I skip the electric bus?
You didn't. I addressed it. We're going to talk about it next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Future business? Ms. Henry?
Nope,
Nope.
we have no other items for open session.
All right, thank you. Well, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn and go into closed session. I don't need a motion, do I?
Yes.
Yeah. I need someone to make a motion to adjourn and go into closed session.
I move to adjourn to closed session pursuant to the revised statutes of Missouri, 610.021, 2.
May I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Michael Macklin, SSD. Leaving out.
It's been motioned and second. Any questions? No questions? Ms. Vaughn?
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Ms. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Watson,
Yes.
Ms. Doble,
Yes.
Mr. Marston,
Yes.
Mr. Hikes.
Yes.
We are adjourned to closed session at 4:05 p.m.